it's strange. 3 years ago, of course, I've always had neck muscular issues, fibromyalgia. India, nobody had an understanding of it. And I was growing up, I had no understanding of it either. 3 years ago, I had a massive, massive three-disc bulge in my neck, and it brought my life to a standstill. Stand still. And that's when I had no option but to slow down. So it is the shadows that show us where work is needed. And it is always going to be there. So it's a part of us. Sometimes it shifts more into light, sometimes there's more of shadow. It's always a work that needs to be done. I think it's lifetimes of work. That is why we are taking so many births, right? So unless there was shadow, you wouldn't be having any work to do on yourself. You wouldn't know the differentiation between light and darkness, daylight or night. So it is as much a part of ourselves to be celebrated as the light or the absence of shadow.
For a dream, I was interviewed by an alien talk show host. What do you think that means?
Because someone's finally about to walk in. Scanning energetic signature. Subject: Shillpi. Spiritual frequency: Shiva coded. Psychic channels open. Multidimensional bandwidth detected. Soul stream interlinks woven through elemental alchemy and ancestral light. Presence triggers karmic recalibration in proximity. Caution: connection may dissolve illusions. Scan complete. The council welcomes you.
Hello, I'm Captain LA of the Ethereal Voyager. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Awesome. I'm traveling out here, and every now and then I run into another cosmic traveler, so I created a game. It's called the Cosmic Wheel of Wisdom. So we spin the wheel, it lands on a random question that I have no idea what it is, and you get to answer the question. Ready?
Ready.
All right. The Cosmic Wheel of Wisdom. Let's see. What's your favorite crystal or healing modality?
Oh, wow. So it's either of the two?
You can pick either one, or you can answer both.
All right. So my favorite healing crystal is moldavite.
Mm,
And the healing modality, I would say ancestral clearing, which is similar to family constellation,
mm,
simply because we all are playing some patterns, replaying patterns from our ancestral, lineage. We are our ancestors. So without that aspect of understanding of where we are and why we are in whatever we are, stuck or repeating or kind of not being able to get forward with, that is a key major aspect which really needs to be considered.
yeah, I agree. I love that. That was something that I have been working on over the past few years. Once I went to a place where I actually connected very strongly with my ancestors and felt all of the generations of a lot of energy. Um, and it made me look at myself and say, okay, this is what I've gained from my lineage, and this is what I need to work on, and this is what I can keep. So yeah, I agree with you. That's one of my favorites. Crystals. I think crystal that has called to me the most would be labradite.
Oh, I love that one too.
Yeah,
Absolutely gorgeous it is.
awesome. And so, in light of the name of your ship, the Alchemist, what does alchemy really mean to you?
uh, for me, alchemy would be the art of transformation, art of transforming your inner self. And that would be your inner self would be transforming fear into faith, sadness into happiness, the stuckness to understanding why we are where we are, to moving forward. Basically, just awakening your inner self and having that, just that divine light inside, kind of lighting that in, rediscovering it, and then having it lit so bright that it just kind of shines out of you to the entire world. So it's just an entire lifetime. I don't know how many lifetimes in itself.
Yeah, and that's so beautifully put. Yeah, it's we're
I
all
kind of
alchemists in our yeah. We're all alchemists in our own right, and I think
absolutely.
yeah, once we embrace that, then we embrace the magic of being able to, like you said, transform all of these different things, whether it be our trauma or, our thought patterns. I think that
Yeah,
everyday life is magic, and that's how we incorporate magic into it. Just really
absolutely.
transforming things.
Yeah, and it is a journey, right? So once you, it comes down to a lifetime, then it kind of moves towards years, then it comes down to the days, and then it's almost like being mindful and recreating or being the alchemist in every moment, because every moment has its emotions. So for me, these are such beautiful weeks where I'm down to putting everything that I preach into every second. So it's like I catch myself every time I say, what am I feeling? Am I fearful? What am I fearful for? Something that might happen in the future? Come back. Where am I now? Do I have what I have right? What I'm fearing of not having the lack in future? I have it right now. So I'm going to be happy about it. So it's now come down to being an alchemist in every moment of my life, and I'm loving it. Of course,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Oh, yes, it's definitely hard. But I mean, I love that you put it that way because it is a journey and it's a practice. And the beautiful thing about it is you get to, the universe always test you. So you get to
Oh
know how
boy,
much you learn.
never say I've mastered the art. Never say it. Don't even think about it, because once you're so attuned to the universe, it's kind of looking into your thoughts. And just when you say, okay, I can rest up, all right, there comes another wave. So,
You're exactly right. It's like whenever you learn a lesson, it's like, okay, you sure? You sure you learned that? Let's see.
and then
But
there are layers and layers, but I would rather choose this roller coaster, this, to than being stuck. So it's like choose your heart. I would
yeah,
choose this any day, any given point of the day
yeah,
or
I
lifetime.
agree.
So,
I agree. I feel like it's the most rewarding one, you know. And in that, like, why do you think people try to seek wisdom outside of themselves instead of trusting their intuition?
LA, I personally feel right now with the Instagram and the social media and everything so out. I remember I don't know about people. I'm no, again, like my purpose is to look within. And of course, with the light that's been lit, if it helps others, great. So I wouldn't talk about people, but I would say when I began, I had heard that I need to find a mentor, I need to find a
Yeah,
guru. So I went around looking around for a lot of them. And I somehow would feel that that's not where I am. That's not how I want it. At one point, I reached a point and said, let me go within and listen to the inner voice. What am I seeking outside? Because everything that's happening outside is a mirror to what's happening inside me. Everybody around me is reacting to the person I am. And then if it's all about me, it's all from me, then how can an outsider guide me?
I I love that. I love that you said that because I used to struggle a lot with that, like with accepting that I can go within and find, like, it was something I already did. I'm very introspective. I'm an introvert, 100%. So it was already something I've done. But as you said, we hear so much of you need to find a mentor, you need to find someone to guide you. And for me, as a young kid, I'm like, well, isn't that God? and, and as I got older, I'm like, well, do I need to find somebody to show me the way?
Yeah,
And
you need to find your own self.
yes, yeah, and that's what I found out because one, the most interesting thing was I could never find a mentor. I would try and never find one.
Because there is never a mentor. It's very easy for us. It's easier, right? Somebody tells you what to do and you do it, and then you have a blame point, or somebody to just take control.
Mm,
When you're going within, looking within, there is nobody to control or hold your hand.
mm, mm.
And obviously then there's a lot of self-doubt that creeps in. I have had moments of learnings. I've implemented those action, those thoughts and guidance by my guides into actions. And it is hard, yes, it is hard when you have to detach because you're being disrespected, or something in the outer world is impeding your growth or not letting you move forward with what's, it's just not in alignment. So I've had times when I've doubted the guidance, and then I remember one time I was just kind of in tears, and I said, this is really hard, are you sure I'm doing it right? And if this is how I'm going to do it, it's going to be a lonely path,
Yeah,
right? And then, so then who's my teacher, who's my mentor, who's my parent? And then we have this beautiful Sanskrit prayer which says, Twamev Mata Chapita Twamev, Twamev Bandhu Chasikha Twamev, which means you're my father, you're my mother, you're my teacher, you're my friend. You are all in one. So now, of course, you can say your higher consciousness, it can be that universe or your God, whatever your belief system is. Because at the end of the day, that's where we came from, that's where we are going to go. In each lifetime, we have these relationships that are walking that journey with us as a soul pact, mirroring what we need to learn again as a soul plan. But these are fellow travelers. At some point, they're at the same level, and then somebody might go ahead or lag behind. If you choose to drag with each other, you ain't reaching the finishing line. Now it's your choice. You want to get caught up in that web, or you want to focus on the goal. So for me, like the horses, they have those eye patches
oh
where
yeah,
they just see no distraction. So anytime anything is going on, I'm like, I ain't letting anybody pull me down from that highway into the bylanes of the cobwebs. It took me long to come back to the highway. I am sticking to it.
yeah. I love that. And thinking about that, it's like, to the point that you made, we always have our team, our ancestral, celestial, ethereal team with us. So we're never
Yes.
really doing it alone. Um, and then also, when it comes to, I feel like a physical mentor, um, when you go within, it almost seems like you have an unlimited growth, right? It's like when someone is giving you a guideline and kind of holding your hand, you can kind of only move as fast as them. But when you're just like connecting with it all and letting, I guess, the universal force, God, whatever you believe in, uh, kind of guide you through it, you can move as fast as you can move. There is no limitations there.
I I would say there are two steps to this. If I was to add, I do mentor people, but I would say the first step would be, do not, the moment you decide to walk that path, please do not go and look out for a mentor, because right now you are attracting a mentor from a place of nowhere. So
Hmm.
please do some work on yourself. Practice listening to your inner self, do some little bit of work, and once you are aligned, you obviously will attract somebody who is also aligned in the similar vibration. That's number one. Second, so do not keep prolonging, I cannot move forward because I don't have a mentor, I don't have a guru. You so go ahead, and if you are lucky and you find one, I do mentor a lot of people, and I always say, right now you've been led to me. So I will mentor you, but my job is to create within you that space that you can heal yourself. So I'm not healing you. I'm not a
Yeah.
healer. You are the healer. Once I have, made you reach that point, please. So then there is no attachment here. There's no commitment of lifetimes here. Once my job is done, you need to detach and go forward and find somebody who will serve you in the next part of your life or your journey. So there'll always be a connection, there'll always be gratitude on both sides, because always when you mentor somebody, there are so many aspects of you that heal in within you as well,
Hmm.
because we are humans. So I'm a mentor, but I am not divine perfect. So I'm human as well. So each person that I mentor or create that space for healing heals some aspect of me as well. And once that purpose or the contract between the souls is gone, again, don't get caught up in the web of attachment, or I call it more. Um, you know, uh, Attachment again, more. Don't get up and caught up. You go your way, go ahead in your journey, let me go ahead, and that connection between the souls is not from this lifetime, it will continue. Maybe you were my teacher in the past lifetime, now I'm here, maybe 10 years down the lane we'll cross the path again, or another lifetime. So I think when we come down to looking outside, these two aspects are very important to consider and always remember.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up. The first part is, like the saying goes, right? When the student is ready, the master will appear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's absolutely true. And then another thing is, like, I realized in my life that anything can be a teacher, though. It's like
Absolutely.
just being aware and conscious. Sometimes when I'm walking my dog in the morning, maybe I'll watch wildlife and something will happen, and in that moment something will click and I'm like, oh wow. Or maybe I have a very large family, and maybe
Tell
one
me
of the
about it.
kids will yeah one of the kids will say something to me, and it's like the term goes out of the mouth of babes, like kids have the
Absolutely.
ability
Right?
to just read you.
For us to achieve, kind of, we've basically wired ourselves to think there's one teacher, but, and also, is that teacher a human?
Mm,
Sometimes, so the master comes when you're ready. Who is the master? Maybe a child, maybe a pet, maybe a book, maybe a story. Like when I started doing ancestral clearing many years back, I came across this documentary about family constellation,
mm,
and I was like, but this is exactly what I'm doing, but in a similar. So when you're ready, you are led to it. So, but unfortunately we are so wired to think God is looks like this, or a
mm.
mentor is a human, or, so the moment you go within and surrender and incline yourself, then you are in surrender. And when you are in surrender, even when you're ready, probably a book will cross your path. It'll be peeping out of the library, thousands of books, and it'll find its way to you.
Absolutely.
You
That's
get gifted, you find it randomly in a friend's house. I have found I found Dr. Brian Weiss when I was 19. I was getting visions. I was getting messages, and I thought the whole world is like that. And then I
Mm,
go to this friend's house, I see this book, and she's like, "Take it. It doesn't make sense to me." I spent the entire night reading it, and I was like, "Wow, wow," I
mm,
cannot forget. And then came autobiography of a yogi. Randomly, I wanted that book. Went to a cousin's house. She's like, "Oh, Didi, take it. I got it at an awards ceremony. Yeah, it's too thick for me." Brilliant. The universe has sent it to
mm.
me. I'm going to read it.
That's how it works, right? And people always talk like, I don't know, like maybe on your social media feed or on YouTube, and they're like, if you're seeing this video, it's meant for you. Like these are the way that things just come to us, flow to us. It's like I don't believe that anything is random or unintentional, right? I believe that life is very intricate, and it's a nice, beautiful, intricate web where everything is connected through all of these things. And,
Beautiful.
you know, it's been times where I'm just scrolling on YouTube and something will pop up and it will like read me right there in that moment. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I love this. This is what I needed to hear right now. But that doesn't
absolutely.
mean that I need to hold on to them. Not every message is for me. But that one right there came to me exactly when I needed it. And I believe that's how a lot of things work, like you said.
Yeah, but LA, I think, again, because what happens is self doubt is one of the most prevalent
Mm,
feelings, I would say, that exist in everybody. Like everybody. So what happens is if you go out say, "You know what? I was asking for a sign, I found a penny." 9 out of 10 people would say, "So what? Somebody must have dropped it." And one would say, "Oh, really? Do you think that's a sign?" And then you come back home and say, "Oh, wow, I felt it was a sign. Was it a sign?" So
mm,
that's why I say, go within, establish the relationship with yourself.
mm,
Because once you are sure of yourself, nothing shifts your vibration because there's no self doubt.
mm,
And what makes a statue into an idol? Your absolute surrender and faith. What makes a crystal work for you? Your belief and faith.
mm. Yeah, yeah,
People
absolutely
will say,
right.
"This is a stone, it's a green stone." Oh, I know this is a labradorite, this is a moldavite, this is going to work for me right now. How do you know it? I feel it. Now,
Mhm.
so the relationship with yourself is extremely important. I That roots, that grounding.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like you said, it's all about the intention behind it. I feel like anything can be magical, anything can work for you. It's all about how you feel about it, the intention you put behind it. Just like, I was outside one day and there was a stick, and I was like, you know what? This stick looks pretty cool. I think I might want to make this my wand. And, it's a random stick, but it's the intention of saying, okay, I'm going to use this. This is going to be my connection, the way that I uh, send out the energy to whatever I'm trying to do. It's all about intention. And I think that a lot of people sometimes get caught up in the tools, but anything can be a tool, right? Like you said,
Yeah, I mean,
it's the intention behind it.
also, and what you believe it'll do for you.
Yeah,
So I get it. There's so much out on social media. There's so much hype about everything. I
yeah,
think it's as simple as go. Everything that you're seeking outside is within you.
yes.
I heard this beautiful podcast. It's titled "The Way Out Is In."
Mm,
Says it all, isn't it?
mm, yes, it
Very, very
absolutely is.
beautiful. Yeah.
And
So that's
I,
alchemy.
yeah, exactly right. So, what do you think the difference between self love and self acceptance is?
Self, I would say, I mean, it's the way you look at it. But the fact that you have self love is accepting every aspect of yourself, the one that achieved, the one that failed, the one that had courage, the one that feared, the one that stood up for yourself, the one couldn't stand up for yourself because you weren't ready or you were scared. So you would reach ultimate self love when you've accepted the light in you and the darkness in you, the masculine in you, the feminine in you, the child in you, the adult in you, and again the aspects of the child which were basically praiseworthy or not praiseworthy. So, I mean, once all of that has been, kind of looked into, worked through, put to settlement, that's ultimate self love. Because when you look at the mirror, there is just, I mean, it's beautiful. And every time we look into the mirror, suppose you're standing in front of the mirror, what do most of the people see? Oh, this is not looking nice. Oh, I've got some fat here. This needs to be done. This needs to be lost. In fact, we are so wired into self criticism. Somebody tells you, oh, you're looking gorgeous. You're like, really? Oh,
Mm,
I haven't felt good at all. I had bags under my eyes. But thank you. Or not, probably not even. I mean, somebody's telling you you look gorgeous, but you have a hard time accepting it.
mm,
So much of criticism has been wired. When I started doing these recordings on my Instagram, I had people call me and say, if you had put your shirt a little like this, it would look better. Maybe change a little bit of lip color. And I was like, really? Is that all you saw? So you
mm.
were seeing what is not right. Did you hear what I said? Did you put your attention to the words? It's sad how we are wired, years and years of wiring, and kind to just look into what's not right. Self-acceptance. So look into the mirror. I am beautiful. Thank you for this body which has helped me reach my soul's lessons. It's taken a hit. The physical body takes a hit. How many times do we actually appreciate our body? We are so critical. Fat, thin, dark, too blonde, too white, too pale, too much freckles, small eyes, small lips. This is me. There is only one of me with this vibration, this name, this birthday, this parent, born out of this parent. That's how, oh, special I am.
Threshold breach detected. Initiating cancel broadcast.
Feeling clogged, emotionally congested, energetically knotted like a wormhole pretzel? The Intergalactic Council invites you to our Cosmic Alchemy and Soul Detox program, featuring the revolutionary Emotional Transmutation Protocol. With expert level energy refinement services and a complimentary karmic purge session for first time clients, you'll finally move beyond your past life job without needing to reincarnate again. Spiritual alchemy, because suppressing your emotions is so of last dimension.
Hmm. Absolutely right. I think those are the things that make us unique, and our uniqueness is our superpower, and so, growing up, I I looked very
That
different.
was a
I
hard
had the
question,
gap
by
in
the
my
way.
teeth and all of those things, and I used to feel, well, actually, it was normal to me and my family. Obviously, my father had a gap, so we all have a gap, so it was normal to me. And then when I got out into the world, then that's when I realized it wasn't normal. And so that it started to make me question. But then I realized, like, I think my family is beautiful. I think we look beautiful. And it was interesting because a lot of the things that I got picked on as a youth as I got older, those were the things that made me stand out. Those were the things that made me unique and drew people to me.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about this. I am all of 140 centimeters. Tall, short. I stand at 140 centimeters, is what I'm going to say. So, when I was growing up, India is a very patriarchal society. It's all about how you look. It's so when they are look, the guy may be 5 feet 2 inches, but they want a girl who's 5 feet two. If a girl is short, like so, there was so much of judgment. There was so much of critical, those critical eyes when I had to forget about get married when I grew. How I had people say, "How come you're so short?" I mean, what do you mean? How come? This is me. This is how, I mean, so it really pushed me as a teenager to a point where I was so low in self-confidence. And then finally I said, I remember a gentleman, he said, "How come you're so short?" I said, "How come you are so rude? Because that's in your control. But this is something that is what the universe has given me. It's out of my control. But what is in my control is that I'm being polite to you and letting you know that you're being super rude."
So,
And on and on. So, ultimately, I think I am very grateful to these people. They were my biggest teachers
mm,
to teaching me self acceptance, and that led to ultimate self love.
right, and confidence, and because really, like you said, that those outside opinions that made me have to look at myself. I, have to question and really look at myself and be like, okay, do I really accept this about me? But this is things that I cannot change. And there's so many things about me that I can, like, I
Absolutely.
am so different. So, I had no choice. I had to accept who I am or die, right? Because I am
Yeah.
so different. I have to
It's
accept
so
this.
sad, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
so sad that at that point, if you do not have that light within you or the strength within you, there's so many children who just kind of go by believing what is told to them and those labels that are given to them. And that's why I do these podcasts. That's why I say, this is how I am. What is in your control?
Yeah.
If that's what you've not worked on, then you need to look at yourself. But all that you've been born with, you stand with pride because the universe doesn't make a mistake.
Mm,
There's no mistake in there.
absolutely right. And so, if you had to write a love letter to yourself, what is the first thing you'd say?
Oh, I would just say I love myself. I just love being where I am. I love you with unashamed, unashamedly, unabashedly, with all that I have worked on and all that needs to be worked on.
Mhm.
I'm not perfect, but I love you for where you are, what you've achieved, and what is left to achieve. It couldn't be one line, LA. Come on. Love letters
Nah,
are never one.
I hear
You would
you.
write pages to men. Why wouldn't I write pages to myself?
Right, I could write a whole book to myself.
Yeah, right? See?
And yeah, that's something that I've gotten more into is telling myself how much I love myself every day.
I'm
Um,
glad you did.
yeah, and it's amazing how when you do that, it's like then you start to attract all this loving energy around you because people can see
Absolutely.
how much you love yourself. It draws them to you, become like magnetic in a way.
Yeah, people look at my podcast who knew me 10 years ago. It's like, how come you look so happy? I come across neighbors and they're like, how come everybody knows you? How come the animals are coming to you? How come these children, everybody knows you? I actually go to the park every day and these small kids, they'll come running, Shillpi. And they're like, how does everybody know you? That's because they relate to the light I emit. It's the cosmic light of acceptance. kindness, compassion, and self love. I am that. And I have no shame in saying that or admitting it because, or maybe somebody wants to judge it as a, speck of ego, but this is my hard work. I have reached here with all these years of self work. So, unabashedly me.
Feel that. I feel that because yeah, it is definitely work. Okay, so I wear proud because, like you said, you have no idea what it took for me to get to
And
this place.
exactly, right? I have been through that journey, and that journey deserves to be owned, and accepted and celebrated. So I will celebrate myself.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing you just said. We have to own our journeys. Think that gives us an ultimate sense of not only like power within ourselves, but gratitude for everything. You know.
Self love.
So, how does embracing our shadows help us on this journey?
It's a part of me again, the light and the darkness, the light and the shadow. So it is the shadows that show us where work is needed. And it is always going to be there. So it's a part of us. Sometimes it shifts more into light, sometimes there's more of shadow. It's always a work that needs to be done. I think it's lifetimes of work. That is why we are taking so many births, right? So unless there was shadow, you wouldn't be having any work to do on yourself. You wouldn't know the differentiation between light and darkness,
Mm,
daylight or night. So it is as much a part of ourselves to be celebrated as the light or the absence of shadow.
yeah, I I definitely, as a youth, love to dive deep into the shadow aspects. I like to joke I was like such an emo child, I was like, my soul, but that like helped me. Actually, it's very interesting because I was like so, into the macabre and really going deep into the dark aspects of myself. When people saw me, they saw someone very happy and joyous. So like you said, it's like it's a duality, and you can't have one without the other. But me being able to face that also was, in a way, it gave me the ability to give like love and joy to the people around me. Which is very interesting. Going into the depths of the shadows gave me the ability to love deeper.
Absolutely right. So your shadow also introduces you to understanding other people's. As a child, remember we used to have this experiment. The sun is here, so the shadow is longer. The sun is behind us, so the light is behind us. Let's put that into life. I mean, sometimes we have great times. So we are all happy, and the dark aspects are kind of submerged. And when the challenging times come, the darkness, the shadows come out because that's the time, that's the dark night of the soul. You need to work on your shadows more. So it's again a cycle of life. Once you accept that, you also are able to understand you will not take anybody's anger, you know wrong words towards you personally. You would, of course, do not, I'm not saying be okay with somebody disrespecting you, but you understand it's not about you, it's about them.
Mm,
And that makes our life so much easier because the moment we get into he was rude to me, he was rude to me, you know what, I'm not going to speak to him, and that's it, and you're getting distracted from the highway into the bylanes.
mm.
To stick to the highway, you say, I'm on this highway. I see why you are stuck there. Bless you. But I am allowing you to pull me into that bylane. See you. Bye bye.
Yeah.
If you need help, I'll pull you here. And but once I've pulled you here, bye bye. We catch up maybe sometime. Maybe down the lane, I need your help. You would be there because I never withdrew from you or denied help. But at the same time, we are not stopping each other from moving forward either.
Absolutely. And I had
It's
to
just,
learn that as well. It's like I can take you, but so far. You can join me, but so far. But at a certain point, see you later, because we
yeah,
have to keep
yeah,
going on this journey, and you'll find what you need when you find it. And if we come back around, like you said, then that means that it's something that we can help each other with at that time, and just keep it moving.
yeah. I mean, so yeah, it's beautiful, right? I mean, once you've accepted that duality is a part of life and the spiritual path as well, you accept yourself as whole and you accept people as whole as a product of their light and darkness or shadow. You look at them with compassion and kindness, yet they stay in their bubble and you stay in your bubble rather than combining those bubbles. I don't know why I got this vision, but I think that makes so much sense to me at the moment. Maybe it doesn't to you, but sorry.
No, no, yeah, that's absolutely right, right? And then sometimes those bubbles do intertwine, but you're still in a separate bubble, so you can always go your separate way. But yeah,
Yeah.
I actually love that visual. Yes. Um,
Helps me stay on track. These visuals help me stay on track. Trust me.
so what do you think the role of interconnectedness plays in healing and transformation?
Now, interconnectedness could be within yourself, interconnectedness within aspects of yourself, interconnectedness within aspects of yourself and divine. And I would say I would always focus on this because the moment you worked on that and raised it to a point of self acceptance and love, then it's a domino effect of seeing everybody interconnected. So you go out there, you're not, there was a beautiful video I posted on my Instagram where you go angry and you pass on that anger to the other person and how it is energetically passed on, whereas to I am the interconnectedness in myself is whole. I'm grounded, I'm rooted, so I have a connection with the earth, I have the connection with the universe. I So that's my dealing. If I'm upset, I look into it. Why am I upset? Fill it with self love. And when I step out, I give out only acceptance and self love and the ability to work on yourself. So you look at somebody and just smile, and it's a domino effect. So there is interconnected as up, down as grounding towards the earth, within yourself, and that is what becomes your aura. You're interconnected, it forms those, and that's what impacts people around you. You go out, somebody's screaming at you, but you are zen, that person will move on.
Mhm.
So this is me. I think interconnectedness is such a beautiful thing to actually visualize and keep it in mind and just kind of take life forward. But then again, it's all interrelated. Self love, self acceptance, kindness, compassion. If every cell has that, that's what's just spreading around, and that's what your aura is.
Yeah, I've been practicing it, and I've been talking about this a lot lately. I've been doing this new meditation, right, where I visualize as I'm doing my breath work, uh, connecting and bringing in the energy from the cosmos, pulling it through myself, and then sending it out through the earth. And in that, I visualize myself setting roots into the earth,
Oh, beautiful.
and it's so interesting because the animals have been like on 1,000 since I started this meditation. Like they won't leave me alone. But I feel the love.
So you see, it's strange that the human beings with the mind should have been, we've reached the moon, but we haven't felt that interconnectedness. Whereas the animals, the moment you're grounded, you are whole, you are interconnected, they will be attracted to you.
Yeah, definitely has been my experience. I'm like, oh my goodness, and the birds, oh my, they've been doing a lot.
So for me, these are like those breadcrumbs that Hansel and Gretel dropped. Whenever I want to know, am I on the right path? Obviously, this is a world. I'm not a monk where I'm amongst similar people who don't pull each other down. The world has, again, nobody's pulling each other down because they want to pull me down, but everybody's a product of their circumstances. Bless them. At the same time, I again go within. I ask for signs. If the and the signs are plenty. A feather, a coin, an animal coming next to you, purring. I go to my park the other day and I was just sitting and very much in self doubt about something. And I have this, the park cat who's always around. Children, she comes and purrs and starts sitting next to me. And I'm talking and she's mewing. And I'm like, wow, okay, you get it. You get it. Thank you. You get it. Thank you. Or, small kids, babies smiling at you.
Hmm.
The moment this happens, I wouldn't trust the adult grown up humans for their reactions. I am anytime in for the animals and the babies and the small children because they radiate just pure love. And that's all they sense too.
Hmm. You're absolutely right, and people
I mean, it's taken me 45 years to find somebody like LA who radiates equal amount of love. And I mean it. Lots of, right? Remember, we have this call in the beginning and we're like, are we the right energy match?
right,
And I was like, I have no doubt. And you said, I have. So, I mean, who's going to, 45 years to find another LA? I would rather we have science, but then, of course, then everything becomes such a magical journey.
right, exactly right. And that, like, for me, when I was able to get to the point where I could reach out to you guys is because I, like you said, did the work, got myself to a place where I was radiating a certain type of energy to attract the right people. And so, yeah, and I love your energy. I'm like, yeah, we definitely vibe. So I
Likewise.
um so how do you think unprocessed emotions manifest into physical ailments?
Oh, have you read that book called The Body Keeps a Score?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. It's strange. 2 years, 3 years ago, I had, of course, I've always had neck muscular issues, fibromyalgia. India, nobody had an understanding of it. And I was growing up, I had no understanding of it either. 3 years ago, I had a massive, massive three-disc bulge in my neck, and it brought my life to a standstill. Stand still. And that's when I had no option but to slow down. And when I slowed down, it was, of course, very, very painful. But then I said, I am going to surgery to fix it. I am going back to my body to understand what went wrong in my soul's journey. Because the pain is just has a message for you.
Yeah.
So it began an entirely new journey for me within myself. Of course, I guide people, but then this is self work is constant. It's
Yeah.
always, people think when you're a mentor, you've reached this level of clairvoyance, you guide people, your life must be a bed of roses. Honey, no. The exams get high as you go. I wouldn't say higher, there's no level of arrogance here or superiority, but as you walk further ahead, the lessons get harder.
Yeah.
So it reached a point where one day I looked into the mirror. All I saw was looking deep inside into my eyes. I could see literally my soul, and I said, it's been a hard journey. I'm not going to carry these burdens anymore. These are not mine to take. And then I realized, I looked at my body like an outsider and said, bless you. You are hunched. You're so much in pain. I'm so sorry
Mm.
that I put you through this. Can you lead me back to healing? I'm still not perfect, by the way. There are days I'm in a lot of pain, but I have to be patient. It's 43 years of damage. So everything, every emotion is manifesting. Our bodies are beautiful, they are resilient, but if you keep pushing them, they have to manifest. These emotions, these lessons have to manifest as physical symptoms to get your attention, otherwise you just don't stop.
Yeah.
Again,
Mm,
we are in the bylanes. Something has to go wrong. Those bylanes have to get clogged to so that you get pushed into the highway, because that's where the journey is. So it was hard. It was again a dark night of the soul, but I am so grateful. It taught me to love my body, because I realized if my physical body is not doing good, I will not be able to be all these a mentor, a spiritual alchemist. Forget about just the basic roles of being a mother, of daughter. I said, oh, no, 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 no. I need to prioritize. And my priority is my soul to has to have a healthy physical body.
absolutely.
So if there is a physical symptom in the body, it's telling me something. It's a beautiful, our bodies are beautiful.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I was just recently learning about the animals that are in areas where we had nuclear bombs, and so like Hiroshima or what's the other one?
Nagasaki, these
Yeah,
are
yeah.
right.
So what happened is these are super highly toxic areas apparently, and
Yeah,
so because they've been in these areas for such a long time, they've developed. Well, actually, there's a latent gene in them, but it's also in us, and in that gene it was activated since they were in these areas, and now they can regenerate and heal themselves 10 times faster than animals in areas where they're not exposed to all of this toxicity. So
yeah.
in
That
that,
innate intelligence, right?
yes, yes,
I
and
mean,
we have the
can
same
we go
ability.
back to that? Can we go back to that? Can we? So I remember when the discs were out, I had a lot of inflammation in my spine. My I couldn't move. It was really bad. So when I went to the doctor, he saw my MRI and he's like, "We need to operate on you, and there is no other way. It's really bad." So I said, "What is bad?" He said, "Your MRI." So I said, "But are my physical symptoms in line with it?" He said, "No, as per what your MRI is showing, you should have a bowel loss, control loss,
Mm,
uh, you balance loss, no strength." I said, he checked everything. Everything was perfect. So I said,
mm,
"There's," of course, you know how the surgeons are, because that's all he knows, right? I mean, if
right.
I've gone to him with pain, he knows how to sort it with surgery. So I came back and I said, "Give me 10 minutes." I went to meditate in the other room and I heard the guide say, "Just ask him for physiotherapy and leave." So I did that. Then I called my chiropractor. I said, "I don't want to do the surgery." He's like, "I'll sort your pain." "What is the issue right now?" I said, "Pain." I am willing to give my body the time. I will go back to the innate intelligence and I will let my body repair, because there was no loss of bowel control. My strength was 100% in spite of severe pain, and there was no loss of coordination either. So the physical body, the discs are out of alignment because I've carried the stressed so much that the muscles have gone tight. So the discs are only out to protect my spine.
Mm.
LA, I've lost you there. Okay, yeah, we kind of,
Oh
and
yeah,
then of
yeah.
course, I went back to India for a 15-day Ayurveda treatment, and a 75-year-old doctor leading the, 2 generations of that hospital. So it was beautiful. When I sat with him, he said, "Look, you're going to purge for the next few days." And then he stopped after he said physical purging. I said, "Fine." 4 days later, and I would be the, happiest one day when he would come to the room to check me in the mornings. On day 4 in the morning, I for 2 hours I was just crying, and everybody was like, "What happened? What happened, madam? You're always smiling." So don't worry. Like the physical release, there has to be an emotional purge. This is years of. So when you're releasing, you're bringing my muscles back to its innate self. It is releasing. It's coming down. I was throwing up. I had extreme diarrhea for hours in the morning. And I said, "But how will the emotions release?"
Mm,
So
mm.
that's how beautiful our body is.
Yeah, 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 that's amazing. And then, like you said, yeah, it has to be released in some form. And yeah, it's so powerful. I think our bodies are so wonderful if we just give it the time. I think it's very important going inward, not only mentally, but connecting with our body, because it really will give us a sign for anything. The first thing that's going to happen is going to manifest in your body through
Absolutely.
pain, through maybe a cold, or anything like that.
Yeah, I would just say we have to allow our body to lead us to where it's coming from. It has to go hand in hand with the science. So please go to the doctor, take his
Yes.
help, but listen to yourself. Again, I think it's all about how well do you know yourself. That connection within is, again, I think if there's one thing, just go within you, just go within you. All the answers are within you, to the disease, to the
Yeah.
sadness, to being stuck, to how people are ill treating you, to how everybody is mean to you, to why you're not succeeding, to everything else.
Yeah, and so on that, like, why do you think people struggle with embracing authenticity?
Oh, you have some really hard questions, LA. Why do they struggle? I think it's also the societal and social conditioning. Because,
Yeah.
again, you are so wired to see what is not right, what's not going right, what is not okay, that we fail to look at what is okay, what is that person's innermost authentic self. And again, it is only when you go within yourself beyond how you look, what's not okay with you, to what could be better, to embracing your innermost self, self love, self acceptance, being authentic to yourself. Everything comes to
So, how do you think we can embrace our truest selves without fear?
accepting acceptance. Whatever we could do, bless us. Whatever we couldn't, wherever I achieved, wherever I couldn't, there are no accidents. It was meant to be like this at that time. Let's not go into why it happened. Take the lessons. Where am I now? So mindfulness, it's all about that, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about where am I now? Okay, I am here today with a broken leg because I did probably should have gone on wearing better shoes, but I didn't. So next time I will take care of it, but let's not go beyond anything. Let's look at the leg, handle it here, and let's enjoy life rather than. And then again, what how we deal with it becomes a domino effect of how people treat you. So if I was to go out and say, talk to a friend and say, "It's okay, I'm fine, I'm working on it, next time I'll be more careful." oh yeah, let's go enjoy, listening to music. Or versus to, you know, I'm so upset with myself. I should have, but the other friend was like, yeah, I told you, remember? You should have done this. And it just kind of, for example. So again, that self acceptance and relationship with yourself is that grounding, those roots, if they are developed, when the storm blow, there's a storm, you would be stable. It, I mean, only the
Unshakable.
trees with the
Yeah.
strongest roots survive the
Because you're
storm.
right. Yeah. It's that being grounded within yourself, like you said, being unshakable. Nothing can move you because you embrace yourself. You set roots in yourself. You understand yourself. This is who I am, and nothing outside me will move me. Yes, I completely agree. So, if you could describe yourself in 5 words, what would it be?
Kind, happy. Um, oh, these two words are enough in itself, but I would say kind, happy. Oh, wow. That's a hard one again. Compassionate, very childlike, and warm
Mm, feel that. Yeah, I feel that. If
and
I could describe
and
myself in
light.
5 words,
And
I
light.
feel that as well.
Can you?
Yes. Um, what would I say? I would say I am love. I am compassion. Definitely got a lot of fiery energy. So I am definitely childlike. I enjoy like life. I love to play. Um,
Oh, you are.
that is a hard one, isn't it?
You see, I told you.
Yeah,
You can say
compassion,
you can say
love,
all of
childlike,
them.
um,
Fun
adventurous. Oh yeah, and fun. Adventurous and fun. Yes,
and happy. Got
yes.
it.
It's so many.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That support each other.
I kind of get the sense of this question because it's kind of what we've been talking about the whole time. But if you could leave everyone with one last message, what would it be?
The way out is in.
Yeah.
I think, of course, go listen to that podcast. It's beautiful, but this sentence in itself, everything that you're looking outside, all those answers are within you. So that's it. I mean, this holds the key to everything that you need to know on this beautiful journey called life.
Yes, I totally agree. Um, like I said, as someone who spends a lot of time with themselves and going within, I have to be honest. Like the most, like everything that I really have learned has been from within, and everything else externally has been confirmation of what I've learned. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah,
It's just a mirror. Everything's outside is a mirror of what's going on within you.
absolutely. So, people want to connect with you. How would they do that?
I, uh, I of course have a website. All my social media handles are awakening with Shilpi, SHILLPI.com. They can email me at awakeningwithshilpi at gmail.com. And most importantly, if this has resonated with you and our paths have to cross, they will find their way to me and I'll find my way to them.
Yes, I love that. And lastly, where does the universe take you next?
I would let the universe decide that. I love this journey. So I am in complete surrender and acceptance. But I can tell you where I am. Like I told you, at the moment in my journey, I have done, years to weeks to days. Now I'm at that moment where whatever I preach, I have to practice in every single moment. That's where the universe has brought me.
Mm,
So every single thought of mine, I am having to flip the fear or doubt into I know I'm taken care of, faith, and complete surrender. I am well supported. I have no doubts you will take me where I need to go. So I will stay in the present. I will not whine about past. I'm not going to worry about future. Today, as of today, for the last 3 weeks, this is my lesson.
perfectly said. Yeah, that was my lesson. That was my lesson for the past 2 years, honestly. But
I
yeah, I
hate
get it
saying
now.
how
But
long this is going to go. I, I,
but yes, I love that. And everyone, this has been another transmission of love, transmission of self acceptance. And we thank you for joining us here. Until
thank
next
you.
time,
And
guys.
likewise. Until next time. Thank you.
Arden, if you remind me to thank the cosmos for this one, this was Chef's Kiss Pure Magic.
Coordinates saved in the Soul Archive. Not bad.
Where to next, Arden?
Prepare for descent into the threshold of echoing ancients.